instead of just listening to...
Aren't you the same woman who claimed that the Amber Heard trial was going to be bad for women? What kind of women is it bad for? Oh yeah, narcissistic, abusive manipulators like yourself. You built your entire platform dogging on and bashing men non-stop. That's literally your entire personality. You hate men. And I found out a couple months ago that you're actually a sex worker. No judgment here. I'm a sex workers' rights advocate because I fully believe, along with getting the state out of people's personal lives, decriminalizing sex work will actually do wonders for single, lonely men. However, you are the type of sex worker I advise my followers to stay far away from because you don't actually care about them. You're just using them for money. You give off massive Cardi B vibes as though you have no concept of personal responsibility and regularly project blame onto everybody else. It's funny how in this very video you say that you want men to be nice and respectful, and yet y'all literally invented the concept of nice guy syndrome to gaslight men. Like y'all are constantly reminding us that being nice isn't good enough. All well and good. But explain to me how this misogynistic prick can still get laid like it's nothing. The reality is, you don't really care if a guy is nice. A guy could be an outright misogynistic prick. As long as he has money and social skills, you'll happily jump that plane ticket to Romania the second he offers you, not even thinking about how much of a red flag that actually is. Remember the whole Wombland saga from a couple months ago? Guys like me have been warning women about Modern Warrior forever. Suddenly he gets exposed for being a womanizer. It's a big culture shock. How are we supposed to know the difference? Pay attention! Literally everybody was telling y'all about the red flags he was giving off. Y'all elected to ignore them. And now y'all want to act all surprised when he comes online and says if you're white passing, then you're white. The reality is, women like you think that they are entitled to equal rights, equal power, and equal privilege without equal responsibility, accountability, or consequences. Y'all sit online all the live long day whining about how you live in a patriarchy and there's not many women in the government. That's your fault. The 19th Amendment pretty much guarantees you the right to vote and hold public office. As someone who is actively involved with politics, the only time I see women outnumbering men at any given political rally is if it's a feminist rally. The wide majority of y'all are single-issue voters who only show up when it's an issue that affects you personally. Y'all sit online complaining about Roe v. Wade and you don't even know what you're talking about half the time. And even though Roe v. Wade is a household name that everybody knows at this point, how many of y'all are familiar with Hermisman versus Sayer? You know, the precedent-setting case that pretty much said that female pedophiles have a right to sue their victims for child support? And no, it doesn't really matter who put the system in place, who's exploiting it, who's benefiting from it, who's protesting anytime someone like me stands up and argues for change. The reality is, women in today's generation are not facing oppression in any way, shape, or form. You're just weaponizing your incompetence. You don't want to hold public office because with power comes responsibility, and responsibility is the kryptonite of today's generation of women. Please be sure to take the bait I just laid out for you.